Welcome to How to Understand Body Language, a transformative journey into the silent world of unspoken words. This book provides you with the tools and insights to decode the silent signals people send through their body language, helping you to build better relationships, to communicate more effectively, and to lead a more enriched and aware life. Why understanding body language matters. Communication is so much more than the words we speak. In fact, studies have shown that a significant portion of communication, somewhere around 60 to 70%, is non-verbal. These non-verbal cues often speak louder than words and can provide pivotal insight into what someone is really thinking or feeling. By mastering the skill of reading body language, you can improve your personal and professional relationships, enhance your ability to read situations accurately, and develop a more empathetic understanding of the people around you. Benefits of this book. So, what can you expect to gain from this book? Here are some key benefits you'll derive. 1. Enhanced communication. Learn to read facial expressions, gestures, posture, and other physical cues to understand others more deeply and respond more appropriately. 2. Improved relationships. Whether personal or professional, understanding body language can help you to connect more genuinely and resolve conflicts more smoothly. 3. Better leadership. People who can read and respond to body language are often better leaders because they understand the underlying emotions and concerns of their team. 4. Increased empathy. By recognizing what others might be feeling, you can show empathy and support, fostering stronger relationships. 5. Higher confidence. When you can read the room, you gain an edge in social and business settings, boosting your confidence. What to expect? This book is structured into 10 comprehensive yet manageable chapters. Each chapter delves into a specific aspect of body language, complete with real-world examples, practical tips, and engaging exercises. Here's a brief overview. 1. The basics of body language, understanding the foundational principles. 2. Reading faces, decoding facial expressions. 3. Posture and positioning, what your stance says about you. 4. The eyes have it, the role of eye contact and movements. 5. Gestures and movements, what hand and arm movements reveal. 6. The significance of touch, the various meanings behind physical contact. 7. Tells intention and relaxation, observing muscle tension and relaxation. 8. Mirroring and matching, understanding synchrony in body language. 9. Context matters, reading body language in different settings. 10. Putting it all together, utilizing all the cues for a comprehensive understanding. Each chapter is crafted to be simple, motivational, and filled with examples that you can relate to your everyday experiences. The ultimate goal is to make you feel empowered and knowledgeable, ready to apply these insights into your daily interactions. Join the journey. Congratulations on taking the first step towards enhancing your communication skills and deepening your understanding of human behavior. Open minds and empathetic hearts lead to richer, fuller lives, and this book aims to be your companion on that journey. Let's start unlocking the silent code of body language together. Welcome aboard. Chapter 1. The Language Beyond Words. Introduction. Welcome to the fascinating world of body language. Have you ever felt that someone was lying to you even though their words sounded truthful? Or perhaps you've sensed someone's joy before they've even spoken a word. These feelings arise because of the powerful, unseen language we all use daily. Body language. What is body language? Body language is the unspoken form of communication we use to reveal our true feelings and intentions. It includes facial expressions, gestures, posture, eye movements, and even the distance we maintain from others. While words can sometimes deceive, our bodies often tell the real story. Why is body language important? Understanding body language is crucial for several reasons. 1. Enhanced communication. By reading nonverbal cues, you can grasp the true meaning behind someone's words, making communication more effective. 2. Building trust. Recognizing and responding to others' emotions fosters trust and deepens relationships, both personally and professionally. 3. Conflict resolution. Understanding body language helps in identifying conflict early and enables you to address issues before they escalate. 4. Self-awareness. Being aware of your body language can help ensure that you are communicating your intended message clearly. The impact of nonverbal cues. Imagine you're at a job interview. Your potential employer greets you with a firm handshake and a warm smile. Even before speaking, you can sense their confidence and openness. On the other hand, if they greet you with a weak handshake and avoid eye contact, you might feel that they lack interest or confidence. These small nonverbal signals can significantly impact your initial perception. Key components of body language. Facial expressions. Our faces are incredibly expressive. For instance, a genuine smile that reaches the eyes, often termed as a Duchenne smile, indicates true happiness, whereas a forced smile might suggest unease or insincerity. Gestures. Gestures encompass movements of our hands, arms, and fingers. Waving, pointing, or giving a thumbs up are just a few examples. These gestures can emphasize what we say or be standalone messages, as in the universal thumbs up for approval. Posture. How we sit or stand reveals a lot about our confidence or lack thereof. An open posture, with shoulders back and arms relaxed, indicates that a person is approachable and confident. Conversely, a closed posture, such as crossed arms, can signal defensiveness or discomfort. Eye movements. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul, and for a good reason. Prolonged eye contact can suggest honesty and interest, while avoiding eye contact might imply discomfort or deceit. Space and distance. How close or far are they standing? Respect the culturally accepted norms for personal space, but also recognize if their distance suggests comfort or discomfort. Practical scenario: your new colleague. Picture this. You have a new colleague starting today. To make a positive first impression, you decide to meet them by the entrance. You walk towards them with a warm smile, maintain steady eye contact, offer a firm handshake, and greet them enthusiastically. Your body language communicates that you are welcoming and approachable. As you chat, you notice they mirror your posture and gestures, a sign they feel comfortable. Their smile seems genuine and they maintain good eye contact. You've successfully created a positive first impression and laid the groundwork for a strong professional relationship. Closing thoughts. First impressions are invaluable. The silent handshake that sets the tone for future interactions. By understanding and mastering the elements of body language, you can present yourself confidently and read others better. Remember, the impact of first impressions extends beyond those initial moments, shaping your relationships and social interactions in profound ways. As you step into new encounters, remember the silent power of your unspoken words. Embrace the language beyond words and let your body do the talking, making every first impression count. Chapter 3. Decoding Facial Expressions. Introduction. Imagine walking into a room filled with people. Without hearing a single word, you instantly get a sense of the atmosphere. Perhaps you notice that someone seems happy, another looks worried, and someone else appears to be angry. How is it possible to pick up on these feelings so quickly? The answer lies in our ability to read facial expressions. Our faces are incredibly expressive and can reveal a lot about our emotions, even when we're trying to hide them. The telltale face. Our faces can convey a wide range of emotions, from joy and sadness to fear and surprise. Understanding these expressions can give you a deeper insight into what others are thinking and feeling. This chapter will guide you through the basics of reading facial expressions and teach you how to recognize even the tiniest changes, known as micro-expressions, that reveal true feelings. Why facial expressions matter? Facial expressions are universal. Across different cultures and languages, certain expressions mean the same thing. A smile typically indicates happiness, while a frown often means displeasure. Knowing how to decode these expressions can help you connect better with others and build stronger relationships. The basics, major facial expressions. Here we will look at some of the basic facial expressions and what they generally indicate. 1. Happiness. A genuine smile involves more than just upturned lips. Look for crinkling around the eyes. If the eyes are not involved, the smile might not be sincere. 2. Sadness. This often features drooping of the upper eyelids and the corners of the mouth. Watch for slight downward movements of the mouth. 3. Anger. Look for furrowing of the eyebrows, glaring eyes, and a tightening of the jaw. The lips might also press together firmly. 4. Fear. This can be identified by wide eyes and slightly open mouth. The eyebrows may be raised and drawn together. 5. Surprise. Raised eyebrows, wide open eyes, and an open mouth are telltale signs of surprise. This expression is usually quick and fleeting. 6. Disgust. Look for a wrinkling of the nose and a raised upper lip. This expression is often brief but can be quite noticeable. The mystery of micro-expressions. Micro-expressions are very brief, lasting only a fraction of a second. Facial movements that reveal a person's true feelings, often beneath the surface of what they are consciously portraying. These fleeting expressions are universal and can give you valuable insights if you know how to spot them. How to spot micro-expressions. 1. Be observant. The key is to pay close attention to the face. Keep your focus and try not to be distracted by other movements. 2. Practice. Watch videos or movies and try to catch these quick expressions. Pause and replay scenes to train your eyes. 3. Reflect on conversations. Think about your daily interactions and consider if you noticed any fleeting expressions that didn't match the person's words. Subtle changes, noticing the details. Sometimes changes in facial expressions are so subtle that they require a keen eye to notice them. For instance, a slight tightening around the eyes or a brief pursing of the lips can indicate discomfort or disapproval. Examples. Confusion. A slight furrowing of the brows or a small tilt of the head can show that someone doesn't fully understand what is being said. Interest. A raised eyebrow or a half smile might indicate curiosity or interest. Putting it all together. When trying to read facial expressions, consider the context. A smile at a social event might be genuine, while the same smile in a tense meeting might be forced. The surrounding situation and body language provide important clues that complete the picture. Conclusion. Decoding facial expressions can seem like a daunting task, but with practice, you can become skilled at it. By understanding these cues, you will be better equipped to connect with others, build empathy, and navigate social situations more effectively. Remember, the face is a powerful communicator. Sometimes it reveals more than words ever could. Chapter 4. Gestures speak louder than words. In any communication, what we say with our hands and arms can often convey more than the words that come out of our mouths. Gestures, which are movements of the hands, arms, and fingers, are powerful tools in our communication toolkit. They can emphasize our points, signal our feelings, and sometimes reveal our true intentions, even when our words try to hide them. Understanding these gestures can help you read people better and convey your messages more effectively. The role of gestures in communication. Gestures give life to our words. Imagine a speaker who remains perfectly still versus one who uses their hands dynamically. The latter is often perceived as more engaging and passionate. Gestures help to illustrate thoughts, add emphasis, and make the speaker appear more convincing and approachable. However, not all gestures are created equal. Sometimes the same gesture can have different meanings depending on the context and culture. Common hand gestures and their meanings. 1. The handshake. The firm handshake. A firm handshake typically indicates confidence and strength. When meeting someone for the first time, a solid yet comfortable handshake can create a positive first impression. It's often used in business settings to show respect and intent. The limp handshake. A weak or limp handshake might suggest a lack of confidence or disinterest. This is not the ideal way to introduce yourself in a professional environment. 2. The open palm. Palms open and facing up. This gesture often signifies openness, honesty, and friendliness. When someone uses this gesture during a conversation, they are likely receptive to what you're saying and are inviting further dialogue. Palms down. Palms facing down can indicate authority or dominance. This gesture might be used by someone who is giving instructions or trying to control a situation. Be cautious, as it can sometimes come across as authoritarian. 3. The finger point. Pointing with one finger. Pointing can be perceived as aggressive and accusatory. It often makes people feel defensive, so it's best to avoid this gesture in most situations. If you need to indicate something, try using an open hand instead. Pointing upward. Pointing upward with an index finger can signal that someone wants to make an important point or draw attention to a key idea. This is usually seen in presentations or speeches. 4. Crossed arms. Arms crossed over chest. This is a common gesture that can indicate defensiveness or closed-off feelings. When someone crosses their arms while talking to you, they might be feeling resistant or protective. However, in some cases, it could simply mean the person is comfortable this way. Lightly crossing arms. A lighter version of this gesture can sometimes reflect self-comfort. It's essential to notice other signals and context before jumping to conclusions. 5. Touching the face. Hand on chin. When someone places their hand on their chin, it usually indicates that they are in a thoughtful or evaluative state. They are likely pondering over something seriously. Covering the mouth. This gesture can signal that the person is holding back something they want to say, or they are unsure about their words. It is often seen as an attempt to hide uncertainty or discomfort. Interpretations in various contexts. In meetings. Imagine you're in a meeting. Your colleague shares an idea, and you notice them making constant open hand gestures towards you. This probably means they are open to feedback and want to engage with you. Conversely, another person sitting with arms crossed might be less receptive to the conversation. In casual conversations. During a friendly chat, your friend repeatedly points at you while emphasizing their story. Though they may be excited, you might feel slightly attacked by their pointing. An excellent way to navigate this is to subtly mimic their hand movements with more open gestures to promote a relaxed dialogue. In negotiations. Negotiations are delicate, and body language can make a significant difference. A negotiator using downward-facing palms might project dominance, attempting to control the discussion. Recognizing this, you might combat it with open palm gestures to invite a more cooperative environment. Choosing your gestures wisely. Being aware of your gestures and their potential impact can transform your communication skills. Suppose you want to project confidence and sincerity in your next job interview. In that case, practice a firm handshake, use open palm gestures, and avoid crossing your arms. Practical tips for interpreting and using gestures. 1. Observe context. Always consider the context. The same gesture can mean different things in different situations. 2. Mirror gestures. Subtly mirroring the gestures of the person you're speaking to can build rapport and make them feel more comfortable. 3. Stay open. Using open gestures can make you appear more approachable and trustworthy. 4. Practice makes perfect. The more you observe and practice understanding gestures, the more skilled you'll become at reading them. Understanding and effectively using gestures are essential skills in personal and professional interactions. By mastering the language of gestures, you open doors to improved understanding, deeper connections, and more impactful communication. Remember, actions often speak louder than words, so let your gestures speak volumes about who you are and what you stand for. Chapter 5. The Meaning Behind Postures. Welcome to Chapter 5. You've already learned so much about the silent language that speaks louder than words. Now it's time to delve into the powerful messages conveyed by our postures. Imagine going to an important meeting or just hanging out with friends. How you sit or stand can influence what others think about you, and even how you feel about yourself. Understanding posture. Our bodies communicate volumes without uttering a single word. Your posture, whether standing or sitting, reveals your inner state and attitude. To master personal development, it's crucial to understand what different postures signify and how they can be perceived by others. Open versus closed postures. Let's break it down into two main categories: open and closed postures. Open postures. Open postures make you look approachable and confident. Think of a person standing or sitting with their arms uncrossed, feet shoulder-width apart and body relaxed. Example: meeting new people. Imagine you walk into a room and see someone standing with their hands on their hips and a slight smile. Their feet are apart but balanced, and their shoulders are relaxed. This openness makes you feel welcomed. You're more likely to approach them and initiate a conversation. Psychological insight. Open postures generally indicate that a person is comfortable, relaxed, and confident. They are open to interaction and are often seen as leaders or trustworthy individuals. Closed postures. Closed postures can signal that someone is defensive, insecure, or not interested in engaging. This includes crossed arms, legs tucked close together, or a hunched-over back. Example: an important interview. Interviewing for a job can be stressful. Picture someone sitting in the waiting room with their arms tightly crossed and their legs crossed at the ankles. Their shoulders are hunched and their gaze is fixed downward. They might appear closed off and insecure, possibly giving the interviewer a negative impression before the conversation even starts. Psychological insight. Closed postures can suggest defensiveness or discomfort. They can indicate that the person is trying to shield themselves or create a barrier from others. This is often perceived as a lack of confidence or even mistrust. Standing postures. Confident stance, power pose. Imagine someone standing tall, with their feet firmly planted on the ground and weight evenly distributed. Their shoulders are back, and their head is held high. Such a posture not only makes a person appear confident to others, but also boosts their own sense of self-assurance. Insecure stance. On the flip side, think of someone with their weight shifted to one leg, shoulders slumped, and eyes looking down. This kind of standing posture can make someone appear uncertain or shy. Sitting postures. Open sitting. Picture someone sitting with an upright back, legs slightly apart, not overly spread, and hands resting comfortably on their lap or the arms of the chair. Their gaze is steady yet relaxed, scanning the room or focusing comfortably on another person. This posture projects engagement and attentiveness. Closed sitting. Now picture someone sitting with their arms crossed tightly over their chest, legs crossed at the knees, and back slightly hunched. They might be looking down at their phone or avoiding eye contact. This type of posture creates a visual barrier and can imply that the person feels uneasy or disinterested. The power of awareness. By becoming aware of your own posture, you can choose to present yourself in ways that reflect your true intentions and feelings. Here's a simple exercise. Next time you're in a social setting, take a moment to observe your posture. Are you sending the message you want to convey? If not, gently adjust. Small changes like uncrossing your arms or standing a bit taller can make a big difference. Final thoughts. Understanding the meaning behind postures adds another powerful tool to your personal development arsenal. It enables you to navigate social situations more effectively and to project confidence and openness wherever you go. Remember, your body language doesn't just communicate with others, it also talks to you. By adopting positive postures, you can affect your own mood and mindset, setting the stage for success in every aspect of your life. The journey to personal development and mastering life skills is a marathon, not a sprint. So, take these insights, practice them, and watch as your interactions and self-perception start to transform. You've got this. Chapter 6. The Truth in the Eyes. Introduction. Eyes often reveal more than words ever could. They are windows to the soul, showing what we might try to conceal with our words and actions. By focusing on someone's eyes, you can gain insights into their true feelings and intentions. The many messages of the eyes. Eyes are incredibly expressive and can convey a range of emotions and states of mind. Different eye behaviors can signify honesty, interest, distraction, and even deceit. By understanding these various signals, you can better read and connect with others. Eye contact. Warm and honest. When someone looks you straight in the eye, especially with a slight, genuine smile, it usually indicates honesty and openness. This kind of eye contact signals that the person is engaged and interested in what you have to say. For example, imagine you're sharing an idea in a meeting, and your colleague maintains steady eye contact with you. This shows they are genuinely listening and valuing your input. Too much or too little? Too much eye contact can feel invasive and intimidating, while too little might suggest discomfort or deceit. If someone is glaring at you without breaking their gaze, they might be trying to assert dominance or feel threatened. On the other hand, if someone frequently looks away, they might be nervous or hiding something. Eye movements. Looking up and to the right. When people look up and to the right, they are often trying to recall a memory visually. This direction typically indicates that they are thinking about something truthful from their past. For instance, if you ask a friend about their vacation and they look up and to the right before answering, they are likely visualizing and recalling their experiences honestly. Looking up and to the left. Conversely, looking up and to the left can indicate that someone is fabricating or imagining something. It shows they are constructing a mental image rather than remembering it. If someone's story seems too perfect and their eyes frequently dart up to the left, their tale might not be entirely genuine. Rapid eye movement. Fast or jittery eye movements can indicate nervousness or deceit. When people feel uneasy, their eyes can betray their hidden emotions. Think about when you catch a stranger lying about something trivial. Their eyes often flick around as if searching for a way out of their lie. The power of a gaze. Interest and attraction. Dilated pupils and prolonged gaze often indicate attraction and interest. When we are interested or captivated by someone, our pupils expand as a natural response. Imagine you are on a first date, and you notice your date's eyes lighting up and their pupils larger than usual when they look at you. These are signs they are fond and interested in you. Distraction. On the flip side, a wandering gaze usually signals distraction or boredom. If someone's eyes are darting around the room while you're speaking to them, their mind is likely elsewhere. For instance, if your colleague is supposed to be listening to your presentation but keeps looking out the window, they are not fully engaged with your message. Understanding subtle signals. Microexpressions. Microexpressions are brief, uncontrollable facial expressions that reveal true emotions. They often occur for just a split second and can be especially noticeable in the eyes. Imagine asking your friend how they feel about a particular plan, and they say they're fine, but their eyes widen ever so slightly. This brief, involuntary eye movement could suggest they are surprised or uncomfortable, despite their verbal assurance. Practice makes perfect. Becoming adept at reading eye behavior takes practice. Start by observing the people around you. Notice how their eyes move and how this correlates with their spoken words and body language. Over time, you will become more confident in interpreting the hidden truths in their eyes. Conclusion. The eyes can reveal our deepest truths and most concealed secrets. By learning to read and understand eye behavior, you can improve your communication skills, build deeper connections, and navigate social situations with greater ease and insight. Let the power of the eyes guide you to a more intuitive understanding of those around you. Chapter 7. Understanding Space and Distance. Introduction. Imagine you're standing in a crowded elevator, and someone moves just a bit too close for comfort. How do you feel? Uncomfortable, right? Now imagine you're meeting a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and they stand a little farther away than usual. It may make you question why they're acting distant, both literally and emotionally. These simple scenarios demonstrate the power of space and distance in our daily interactions. This chapter will help you understand the concept of personal space and how it influences our comfort, familiarity, and power dynamics in communication. The zones of personal space. Personal space is an invisible bubble we carry around us, and its size can vary based on culture, situation, and individual preference. In general, psychologists have identified 4 primary zones of personal space. 1. Intimate space, 0 to 18 inches. This zone is reserved for close family members, romantic partners, and very close friends. When someone enters this space uninvited, it can be extremely uncomfortable and even threatening. 2. Personal space, 18 inches to 4 feet. This is the distance we maintain during interactions with friends, co-workers, and acquaintances. It's close enough for a personal conversation, but still respects the comfort of the other individual. 3. Social space, 4 to 12 feet. This zone is typically used for interactions in professional or social settings, such as meetings or casual gatherings. It's formal enough to maintain a level of professionalism, yet inviting enough for relaxed conversation. 4. Public space, 12 feet and beyond. This is the distance we maintain in more public settings, like speaking to a group or passing someone in a crowded hallway. It's the most impersonal space and often used for general communication and addressing groups. Comfort and familiarity. Understanding and respecting these zones can significantly impact how comfortable and familiar others feel around you. For example, if you invade someone's personal space during a first meeting, they may feel uneasy and defensive. Conversely, standing too far away in a familiar setting can make you seem distant or uninterested. Example: dinner party dynamics. Imagine you're at a dinner party and meet someone new. Standing about 2-3 feet away while chatting will likely make the other person feel at ease. However, standing 6-8 feet away might make them think you're disinterested, while standing too close could make them uncomfortable. Power dynamics. The distance we maintain can also convey messages about power and authority. In many professional settings, the person in power often controls the spatial dynamics. For example, a boss who invites you to sit close to them during a meeting is usually trying to create a sense of openness and collaboration. Conversely, if they maintain a significant distance, they may be trying to establish their authority or show there's a clear hierarchy. Example: the office environment. Consider a scenario where you have to discuss a project with your manager. If the manager stands up and approaches your desk, coming within personal space, it often signals a desire for collaboration and open communication. However, if they stay behind their desk and maintain a larger social distance, it can emphasize their role as the decision-maker and gatekeeper. Cultural nuances. It's important to remember that the concept of personal space can vary widely across cultures. What feels comfortable in one culture may be considered impolite or invasive in another. Being aware of these nuances is crucial, especially in our increasingly globalized world. Example, traveling abroad. Suppose you're traveling to a country where people stand much closer during conversations than you're accustomed to. Adjusting to this cultural norm is vital for successful communication. Recognize that their behavior isn't meant to make you uncomfortable. It's simply a different norm. Tips for respecting personal space. 1. Observe and adjust. Pay close attention to others' body language. If someone seems to lean back or step away, give them more space. 2. Ask for permission. In close interactions, especially within intimate and personal spaces, don't hesitate to ask if sitting or standing closer is okay. 3. Mind the context. Adjust your distance based on the situation. Casual gatherings allow for closer proximity than formal meetings. 4. Be mindful of cultural differences. Research and understand cultural norms regarding personal space, especially if you travel or work in a multicultural environment. Using distance effectively in communication. Mastering the art of space and distance can enhance your communication skills. Here's how. 1. Building rapport. In friendly settings, standing within personal space can help build rapport and trust. 2. Establishing authority. In formal settings, maintaining a respectful social distance can reinforce your position of authority. 3. Encouraging openness. Inviting someone into your personal space can create a sense of camaraderie and openness. 4. Neutral settings. When negotiating or dealing with conflict, choose neutral settings where personal space can be naturally maintained without making anyone feel uncomfortable. Conclusion. Understanding and respecting personal space can significantly enhance your interactions, making others feel more comfortable and respected. It's a subtle yet powerful tool in effective communication, fostering familiarity, trust, and mutual respect. By mastering the dynamics of space and distance, you can navigate social and professional environments with greater ease and confidence, ultimately leading to more meaningful and successful interactions. Remember, the goal is not just to observe these principles, but to practice them until they become second nature in your everyday interactions. The respect and consideration you show for others' personal space will not go unnoticed and will contribute greatly to your personal and professional growth. Chapter 8. Cultural nuances in body language. Body language can differ widely across cultures. This chapter highlights these differences and provides guidelines for interpreting non-verbal cues in cross-cultural interactions to avoid misunderstandings and foster better relationships. The silent signals of culture. In our increasingly globalized world, interacting with people from various cultures is common. However, understanding each other goes beyond just knowing the language. It includes understanding body language, which can vary significantly from one culture to another. By being aware of these cultural nuances, you can avoid misunderstandings and build stronger, more respectful relationships. Greeting rituals, a universal diverse. Bow shake or kiss. In some cultures, a bow is a common greeting. For instance, in Japan, the depth and duration of a bow convey respect and social standing. Conversely, a handshake might be more common in the United States, where a firm grip indicates confidence. On the other side of the spectrum, in some European countries like France, it's customary to greet with a kiss on the cheek, which can range from 1 to 3 kisses depending on the region. Example: imagine traveling to Japan for a business meeting and instinctively extending your hand for a handshake, only to be met with a deep bow from your counterpart. Understanding that this bow is a sign of respect and reciprocating appropriately can set the tone for a successful interaction. Eye contact, the window to respect. Direct versus indirect eye contact. Eye contact is another area where cultural differences are pronounced. In the Western world, direct eye contact is often seen as a sign of confidence and honesty. However, in some Asian cultures, prolonged eye contact can be perceived as disrespectful or confrontational. Instead, averted gaze might be a sign of politeness and respect. Example: if you maintain prolonged eye contact in a conversation with a person from Japan, they might feel uncomfortable. Understanding that a downward gaze is their way of showing respect will help you navigate the conversation more smoothly. Personal space, finding the comfortable distance. Close talkers and distant negotiators. Personal space is a silent yet powerful communicator. In Latin American cultures, people tend to stand close to each other while conversing, reflecting warmth and friendliness. In contrast, people from Northern Europe or North America might prefer more personal space, valuing privacy and individuality. Example: if you step back from someone trying to engage with you closely in Brazil, they might interpret it as distant or uninterested behavior. Being aware of these cultural preferences helps you stay in harmony with social norms. Gestures, the universal language with local dialects. Thumbs up, it depends. Gestures can be particularly tricky, as they often differ greatly in meaning across cultures. A thumbs up, for instance, is a positive signal in many Western countries, indicating approval. However, in some Middle Eastern countries, this gesture can be offensive. Example: while giving a presentation in Iran, avoid using the thumbs up sign to show progress or approval, as it can be mistakenly understood as a rude gesture. The smile, a universal expression with different messages. To smile or not to smile. While a smile is generally seen as a positive expression, its interpretation can vary. In the United States, smiling can be a way to show friendliness and approachability. However, in Russia, excessive smiling, especially with strangers, can be viewed as insincere. Example: suppose you're greeting Russians at an international event. In that case, a more measured and reserved demeanor might be more effective than the broad smile you would typically use when meeting Americans. Practical tips for cross-cultural interactions. 1. Research and observe. Before interacting with individuals from a different culture, invest time in researching their social norms and body language cues. Observation is key. See how locals interact with each other and take cues from their behavior. 2. Ask and clarify. When in doubt, asking respectfully can clear up confusion. Phrasing questions such as, "What is the appropriate way to greet someone here?" shows your willingness to respect their customs. 3. Adapt and be flexible. Being adaptable and flexible in your body language helps bridge the gap between different cultural practices. Small adjustments in behavior can make a significant difference in how your interaction will be perceived. Conclusion: celebrating diversity through understanding. Cultural nuances in body language add a rich layer to human interactions. By being aware of these differences and approaching them with respect and curiosity, we can foster better, more harmonious relationships. Embrace the diversity around you and let your body language reflect your understanding and appreciation of other cultures. Chapter 9. Synchrony and Mirroring. Introduction to Synchrony and Mirroring. Have you ever noticed how close friends or people in strong relationships often mimic each other's movements and postures without even realizing it? Maybe you've seen a couple sitting in a cafe, both leaning forward with their elbows on the table, or perhaps two friends laughing, their shoulders moving in harmony. This natural phenomenon is known as synchrony and mirroring. Synchrony occurs when people are emotionally connected and engaged, following each other's movements and rhythms almost like a dance. Mirroring, a type of synchrony, happens when one person subconsciously imitates the gestures, posture, or even facial expressions of the other. This can create a powerful psychological bond that fosters trust and empathy. Why mirroring matters? Mirroring is more than just a quirky behavior. It is a fundamental way we connect with others. When used correctly, it can build rapport and make conversations smoother and more meaningful. The subconscious message sent by mirroring is clear. I understand you. I am with you. Mirroring helps in 1. Building trust. When you mirror someone, it shows that you are in sync, both emotionally and mentally. This increases trust as people tend to trust those who are like them. 2. Enhancing empathy. It creates a sense of empathy by making the other person feel understood and validated. 3. Strengthening relationships. Whether in personal or professional interactions, mirroring can make conversations more engaging and relationships stronger. The science behind mirroring. Our brains are equipped with specialized cells called mirror neurons. These cells fire not only when we perform an action, but also when we see someone else perform the same action. It's almost like the brain's natural way of experiencing what others are experiencing. When you see someone smiling, your mirror neurons fire as if you are smiling yourself, making it more likely you'll smile back. This not only helps in creating a shared experience, but also fosters a deep connection, as if both individuals are on the same wavelength. Practical examples of mirroring. Let's look at 2 scenarios to see how mirroring works in real-life situations. Scenario 1. Job interview. Imagine you're attending a job interview, and you notice the interviewer crosses their legs and leans slightly forward. By subtly mirroring that posture, perhaps by leaning forward and crossing your legs, you can create a sense of connection and put the interviewer at ease. This doesn't mean copying every move like a mime, but rather adopting a similar posture or slow gestures. When the interviewer smiles, you smile back. When they use their hands to emphasize a point, you can do the same. Done subtly and naturally, this can result in a more engaging and positive interview experience, demonstrating your attentiveness and social acuity. Scenario 2. Building a friendship. Consider meeting a new friend at a social gathering. They might start by sharing a story while gesturing animatedly. If you mirror their enthusiasm, perhaps by engaging with similar gestures and maintaining an open and inviting posture, it can make your new friend feel understood and comfortable. They'll see you as someone who shares their energy and interests, strengthening your newfound bond. Practical tips to use mirroring. Here are some actionable tips to help you effectively use mirroring in your daily life. 1. Observe first. Before you start mirroring, take a moment to observe the other person's body language. Notice their posture, gestures, and facial expressions. 2. Be subtle. Mirroring should be natural and not exaggerated. It's about subtle mimicry, not perfect imitation. 3. Maintain eye contact. Making and holding eye contact is an important part of mirroring. It shows you're engaged and interested. 4. Match their tone. Mirroring isn't just about physical movements. Adapt to the other person's energy level and tone of voice. If they're speaking calmly, avoid being overly animated and vice versa. 5. Practice empathy. Try to genuinely understand the other person's emotions and thoughts. Your mirroring will be more effective and authentic if it comes from a place of empathy. Synchrony beyond mirroring. Synchrony in communication goes beyond simple mirroring of physical actions. It includes emotional synchrony, feeling and expressing emotions at the same intensity, and verbal synchrony, using similar language patterns. Engaging actively by listening and responding with similar enthusiasm and care further builds the connection. Creating positive interactions. Mirroring can enhance not only one-on-one interactions, but also group settings. For instance, in team meetings or group discussions, synchrony can establish a more harmonious and productive environment. When groups are in sync, ideas flow more freely, and everyone feels valued. In summary, understanding and embracing the concept of synchrony and mirroring can transform the way we communicate with others. These subtle cues help to build trust, establish rapport, and create deeper, more meaningful relationships. Start small. Practice these techniques with intention and watch as your connections flourish in every aspect of your life. Chapter 10. Practical Applications of Body Language. You've now journeyed through a detailed exploration of the myriad expressions our bodies can convey. By understanding these unspoken signs, you hold a powerful key to unlocking deeper, more effective communication. This final chapter focuses on how you can put this knowledge to work in real-life situations, starting with the areas many of us encounter regularly: job interviews, public speaking, and networking events. Job interviews, making the right impression. Job interviews can be nerve-wracking, but your command of body language can set you apart. Here are some strategies to enhance your interview performance. Before the interview, practice an open posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back. Avoid crossing your arms or legs. This open posture projects confidence and approachability. Warm up with a power pose. Right before your interview, take a couple of minutes in private to adopt a power pose, standing like a superhero with your hands on your hips. Research shows this boosts your confidence. During the interview, handshake. A firm yet friendly handshake can set a positive tone. Make sure it's not too strong or too weak, just enough to show you are confident and respectful. Maintain eye contact. When the interviewer speaks, maintain eye contact to show attentiveness. Don't stare, but nod occasionally to show understanding and agreement. Mirroring. Subtly mirror the interviewer's body language. If they lean forward, do the same after a short delay. This builds rapport and shows you're engaged. Use gestures. Use your hands to emphasize points but keep them under control. Movements should be natural and not overly broad. Public speaking. Engaging your audience. Public speaking can seem daunting, but effective body language can greatly enhance your message and keep your audience engaged. Preparing for your speech. Practice in front of a mirror. Observe your gestures and facial expressions. Adjust them to ensure they align with your words and emotions. Rehearse with an audience. Get feedback from friends or family on your body language. They can point out any distracting habits you might need to address. During your speech. Start strong. Walk onto the stage or to the front of the room with confidence. Stand tall, make eye contact with your audience, and smile. Facial expressions. Use your face to project enthusiasm and sincerity. A genuine smile can break down barriers and invite your audience in. Gestures. Use hand movements to reinforce your points. Avoid repetitive or large gestures that might distract. Movement. Don't stand still throughout your speech. Move around to engage different parts of the audience, but ensure your movement is purposeful. Connecting with your audience. Scanning. Make eye contact with various members of the audience rather than focusing on one spot. This makes everyone feel included. Nod and respond. When someone nods or shows emotion in response to your words, acknowledge it with a smile or nod back. Networking events. Building connections. Networking is all about establishing connections and leaving a positive impression. Your body language can help you stand out in a crowd. Entering the event. Confident entrance. Walk in with a smile, stand tall, and make eye contact with those around you. Introduce yourself to new people with a firm handshake and a friendly greeting. During conversations. Active listening. Show you're engaged by nodding, smiling, and making brief acknowledgements. Use your body to face the person you're speaking with fully. Personal space. Respect others' personal space. Don't stand too close, but also avoid being too distant. Find a comfortable middle ground. Express interest. When someone speaks, lean slightly forward to show curiosity and interest. Avoid checking your phone or looking around the room. Ending conversations. Closing with a gesture. As you close the conversation, use a firm handshake and a warm smile. Offer a business card if appropriate, holding it out with both hands to show respect. Follow-up. Use body language clues in your follow-up interactions. If you sensed enthusiasm, match it in your written or next face-to-face communication. Embracing your new skills. The key to mastering body language is consistent practice. The more you use these strategies, the more natural they will become. Remember, effective body language isn't about manipulation, but about enhancing communication, making others feel comfortable, and expressing yourself authentically. Whether you're stepping into an interview, standing before an audience, or working a room at a networking event, these skills can elevate your presence and help you leave a lasting, positive impression. Embrace the power of body language and watch as it transforms your personal and professional interactions, leading you to greater success and fulfillment. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us on this inspiring journey. Your desire to grow, to seek wisdom, and to spread positive energy truly makes this world a better place. We are incredibly grateful to have you as part of our community. By tuning into our audiobooks, you are not only enriching your own life but also contributing to a ripple effect of positivity that can touch countless others. Your commitment to self-growth is both commendable and essential in these times. Remember, the power to change the world begins within each of us. We encourage you to comment below with your top learnings from this book. Let us know what resonated with you the most, and more importantly, which lessons you are planning to implement in your life. By openly declaring the new habits and principles you wish to adopt, you not only create accountability for yourself, but also inspire others in our community to strive for similar growth. Remember, sharing your breakthroughs and goals fosters a supportive network that can help you stay on track. Together, we can build an empowering circle of accountability, motivation, and success. Keep shining, keep growing, and continue spreading that incredible positive energy. The world needs it more than ever. Until next time, stay motivated and stay mystical.